Thank you for joining me for Promos Part 2. So I'm going to do a quick recap on what we did in the last one, but what I want to do this time is I want to get a little more in depth, and I want to also talk about and show you what these promos really look like. Now, personally speaking, I like to test all the promos in the admin panel, but I'm also going to show you some on the web as well. So let's go over here to Store, and we're going to come over here to Promos, go down to Promos, and I've put in some additional promos here. So let's kind of start with the first one. Let's start with a everyone 10% case. Okay, so we've got our name. It's open to everyone on the entire store just to make it easy. We have an expiry on here, which is actually tomorrow. And that way it kind of keeps it nice and clean when we only want it to work for a short period of time. Very important. Please put these on here for any of those short runs. And then we also have the discount, 10% off, and it's anywhere from $12 to $999. And what's great about this is it's open to everybody as long as they're getting a case. So I can go to the website and I can say add this to my cart, and I can go to the cart and then go, okay, well, I have a shipping promo going on right now. And I'm going to update this to a case. And the shipping promo is available to everyone, which is actually a 50% off shipping promo. So we can see that that one is applying. And then here's my everyone 10% case discount. As soon as I put that up there, now I bring this back down to 11, update, and now we're back to full price. And you can see that the promo disappeared. This is one way of testing, but I like to do this in the admin panel. But I did want to show you that anybody, because I'm not logged in, that goes here, because this is just for everybody, they can get this discounting. Now remember, everyone, it also includes your club members. So if the deal was the same amount for a club member as a non-club member and they were getting a good enough deal, they can just go in and buy this and ship it off to themselves. Ideally, though, you want your club members to log in so that they get their discount. So let's go back. I'll remove all that. And we're going to go back. And if I wanted to test everyone case, I could go to a store. I could create an order. In this case, I'm going to pull up myself. There we go. And we could always remember you can change the order type here if you needed to. And let's make this a pickup. Now, what you're going to see here is, let's go in and search for all the different products, and let's put 2 of those in and 2 of those in. Okay, so right off the bat, you're going to see down here that I have the Club 20 discount off showing up here, and this is 20% off. Now, what normally will happen is that, again, the biggest monetary discount is going to show up, and then we'll get into coupling in a few moments. But just to kind of show you that if there is any other discount that's not as much as this, and if I was to get rid of that one, then the next one would show up and so on down the line. So I could go ahead and make this a shipping order. And then we see that the shipping promo pops up. So let's do that again. Contacts, pull up myself. Another way to do this is either scroll down to the store section here or just hit manage store, create an order so it populates all your information right here. That's the easiest way to do it. Shipping, items, let's throw some items in here. Submit. All right. So we have this here, and I put that in there, and I've got the Club 20% discount there. And then if I subtract that, now you see that this discount is only $12.50. So it wasn't showing up because the other one was much greater. That one was showing up by itself. And so now that I took that one off, now this one shows up because it's the next available one that'll apply to this order. If I take that off and there's nothing to apply, well, then there you go. There's nothing there. Or I could add a promo based on putting in a coupon if I have any. but I don't have any with coupon codes at the moment. So we'll go back to promos, and we can see here that I have a few different ones. So we're going to do a club discount, but now I'm going to couple it. And I just kind of want to walk you through the different ways of doing this. So I've got the club discount, and I'm going to do the club case discount. Remember, if you're ever making promos for everyone and you want that same type of discount to apply to your club members, you have to create a separate promo for the club members. So one for everyone, and then one to couple with the club normal discount so that they get that additive effect. So in the case in point would be, I have a club 20% discount, right? And now that I have a club case discount at 10%, what that means, and I've coupled those, that means that when they put the case in, they're going to get 30% discount. So keep in mind that when it's not going to be taking over, but that you might want to do an additive effect for later. Let's say you just want to do 25%. Well, then the case discount would be an additional 5%. So as soon as it hits that 12 mark, then that extra goes in. Let's take a look at that. So I'll go to myself, go to manage store, create the order. And then this time when I put the items in, I'll put 12 of those in there. All right. So now we can see that we have the club discount of 20%, but then we also have that additional 10% that's been tacked on as well because they're coupled. So now they're working together, which means it's additive. They're not fighting anymore. They're going, okay, I'm going to give 20, you're going to give an extra 10, and then the customer gets a better discount. All right, looks good. So now what if we add in the shipping to that as well? Because remember I mentioned about keeping these kind of separate little train cars, Legos, however you want to think about it, and you want them in different layers. And in this case, I've got a club discount on just the products. Then we have a club case discount. So now that's the quantity. And now we have the shipping, which I'm going to come down and I'm going to click edit. I'm going to add that to the club case and the club discount. Now keep this in mind, is that, and I mentioned this before, that the way that this works is A plus B and B plus C. And the point here is that if I couple these two together, A plus B, one to another, then those are going to work together. And this is why expiry is extremely important. Because of the fact that yes, A and B are together, and that's working fine. But if I don't think about it, or B sticks around and I didn't put an expiry on it, and then I go, well, I want B to work with C, and okay, so those two should work together. But when I add that C on there, what really happens is that now you're going to get A plus B plus C, and you're going to get all of those discounts together. So all discounts, regardless of what they are, but they are all going to work together. They are all going to trigger if they can. If they all apply, then they have the possibility. This is one reason why promos do not work in club processing. Very important fact, because of I know everybody wants them in there, and there's some things they're working on. But what would happen is that, let's say you've got the club and the shipping discount in your club processing, but you forgot that there was a reorder discount or an additional, 10%, 20%, 30%, and it snuck into your club processing, and then you just did an additional discount, and now all of your bottles, all your orders are now discounted an extra 10, 20, 30%. Yeah, how's that going to work out for you when you're expecting this large number for your club run to keep the business running and you're down 10, 20, 30% because you gave it away? When we get into club, and I talk about doing club, if I train it on that, one of the biggest things is testing your orders prior to running that club. I've heard horror stories from people about running 700 plus orders and forgetting that they were all at retail price, or thinking that the promo is going to discount the wine when it doesn't. And then now you've charged 700 orders to do at retail price, and now there's no mass refundability, which means you had to go in individually and do that. So it's extremely important that you test across anything that is going to touch the customer. And it's just really important. And also really understanding the functionality of this. So the way I want to show you this is that if I have my 20% club discount here and I've got that coupled to the shipping promo, okay, well that's all well and fine, right? So let's go back to the order, or to a order here. Let's create an order. Huh. Look at that. So I only coupled the 50% shipping promo to the club 20% discount, but the club case discount also fired. Now, this also fired or came through because the club case discount was coupled to the club discount. Even though the shipping promo was only coupled to this one and not to this one, remember A, B, and C. Because this was already coupled to this one's just coupled to this one. This is the one in the center, but because of the ability for this to all, because all the scenarios, all the criteria were met, then these all fired. So if I went in here and I did this though, and I brought that down to 11, well now the club discount, the case discount is not going to be showing because it's not a case, right? That was the whole point of making that criteria. But this is just a case in point of making sure that when you are putting these things together, that you are very specific, you keep it very simple, not only for yourself, for the system, but also for the customer. In this case, you could be eating a lot, or basically not getting a lot of your sales just because you goofed or you left something coupled when it shouldn't have been. So let's say this club case discount was only for a month. Well, it's now in a new month, and that was supposed to expire, but it didn't. It went through. Somebody else got that discount, and now you're just all upset because it's not working the way you had intended it. So little things like that can make a big difference. So keep this in mind. It's very important when we're talking about coupling and putting different products together here. So here's a different way. Everyone 10% case discount. Let's say you wanted to do, I'm just going to do the everyone, which includes club members. So I want that to work with their club discount and when they get a case. Okay, great. That should work, right? I know Nate said that, if I make one for everyone and I make them for club, I should, make different ones. But I think those should work. Oh, look at that. Even though I just coupled it here, remember this one was already coupled to these as well. So when you're looking at the coupling, you're seeing that promo that you're in and where you want that to couple to. But it's not showing you all the other ones that one that you're trying to couple to is also coupled to. So in this case, yes, I said, I just want the everyone to give an extra 10% on the case, and I'll put it to the club discount so that the club members get that as well. Well, you didn't put an expiry on some of these others, and now they're all coming through as well. Okay, so this is why I like doing this in the admin panel, because I get to really see the breakdown. We could do this here on the website, but sometimes it's a little harder to see. Let's say we can go do this, and I can go to my cart and view the cart, and then you're going to see I have the shipping promo and I have the everyone 10% case. Okay, that's great. But then if I go to log in to get my club discount, then look at this. Shipping promo, club case, everyone, club discount. So I'm getting the same thing here, right? Same thing as I was on the back end. As long as it's firing here, you should see it on the front. Sometimes some of the promos, especially the shipping promos, may not show up right away. Sometimes those are showing later on, and therefore some people think it's a bait and switch. The customers might think it's a bait and switch because you're like, no, really, it's dollar shipping, and they're just seeing regular shipping. And you might want to check the version on your cart. You might want to look into going to the V2 version, in which case you go to settings and then over here to website editor and then back down to checkout design and make sure that this is published. That's also where I also talk about in the carrots in the one-click offer video. You need to have this enabled or published so that those will work as well. Some of the other areas that I've seen that can be a big problem when people are trying to put their various promos together are trying to do too much. Again, keeping it simple, where let's say you have, this actually happened not too long ago, somebody wanted to do multiple SKUs, but then different percentages for those multiple SKUs on what you got based on volume. Okay, so what we would be talking about is a quantity amount, but then you have a different percent off for each of those products. And basically what ended up happening was having to go in and do a discount off product 1, and that was only for certain club levels. Select products, and then you pick your club level, and then you have to pick your products, and then you would go ahead and come in here and edit, and let's say it was 33%, and that was 6 or more. But then we could do another one, and this is kind of what happened. So let's let's call this product 1 6-pack. Save that, and then we go in here. We're going to duplicate this because I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm going to get rid of the code. Remember, if I put a code in, I have to add a code in for later to trigger this, but I don't want to because I don't need to do that. And in this case, it's a 12-pack. So this is club level, select products, product 1, 12-pack. And here, still the same product, still the same club, and that's why we duplicated it, so we didn't click all that again. Well, maybe this was 45% off. Okay. Well, and that was for 6 products, 6 or 8 promos. And the problem here is that when you're going to be doing any of these discounts, try and get to an overarching discount percent. Try not to break it up like this at these different levels. Actually, this one's at 12. Hey, there you go. And remember, either 2s or no 2s, but keep it consistent when you're doing above 12. So we have a promo here for the 6-pack, then we have one for the 12-pack just for these products. But if I had other products I had to do this for, and then it was at 30%, and it was at 42%, et cetera, it gets really convoluted very quickly. And then, well, now I have to couple those. Because let's say that I have a second one that's very similar to this, but what if somebody gets a Cab Franc from this one and a Cabernet from the other one? Well, I need those discounts to work if they're going to get, let's say a 6-pack of Cab Franc because they didn't want rosé, and they get a 6-pack of the Cab. Well, both of those have to work together. Otherwise, only one of them is going to work because the 6-pack with the higher discounted monetary rate is going to win, which means that they're not going to get it off the other one. So now you have to start coupling those together. Oh, wait, but now I have to couple all the 6-packs together. Oh, no, wait. I have to couple all the 6-packs and all the 12-packs together just in case somebody buys a 12-pack of one thing and a 6-pack of another, and now this gets really out of control. So that's why when you can, keep it as simple as possible. Just do a straight across the board percentage discount, and then that way you'll be able to just keep it simple. Customer won't be confused as much. You won't be confused. And then also, again, you have to test all this. So now if you have to go through and test all these different products, how they appear, and in the different variables and the permutations, really, now you're going to be spending hours just testing this. and that just puts so much extra work on you. So these are the kind of things that I want you to avoid, but also understand that it's very important, again, just to keep it simple. Also keep in mind that if you have multiple clubs and they have different discounting, you're going to need multiple promos. So we could say, all right, the club discount here is 20%, but let's say that that's only for the red wine club, and the white wine club is going to be different. So then I could duplicate this, edit, and copy, get rid of the copy, get rid of the code, because again, want that automatic, entire store, specific club levels, but this one's only going to be 15%. We go ahead and hit save, come down here, and I'm going to change this to just white wine, hit save, no excluded products, and then of course we have to change the percentage as well. There we go. And now we're coupled to all these as well, so you got to be careful there. And let's come back up here real quick. So if you have different clubs, you're going to need a promo for each of those clubs. And then when we are talking about doing any kind of discounting above that, now we have to see, can I make a club case discount that's 10% for both clubs, or do I have to do those individually? And, how much do I want? Let's say that, I only wanted 5% for the white wine club, but I wanted 10% for the red wine club. Well, then that's two promos. And so I would make one for the red wine club, one for the white wine club, and then couple them to just those clubs. And so this can get very convoluted very quickly, and that's why I just keep urging you to keep it simple. So it's just important to make sure that we're putting these together right. So if you have any additional questions, throw them in the comments with an email, or just email me. My information's at the end of the video. Please let me know if I can help any further. But I hope this has helped you, especially with the coupling aspect and showing you what can kind of happen. And again, test, and make sure that what you're expecting to happen is happening in all the different scenarios. And when it comes to double checking and testing, if something doesn't look right, start back at the beginning for each of the promos, work your way down, make sure everything looks right, and then start, moving from there to the next promo if it was a coupling issue or whatnot, and seeing the discounts or seeing where the error might be. So you'll find it. I have faith. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll have another video out really soon. Thanks.